Since I made a video sharing with you guys that I use SellerBoard now, a lot of you have been asking me if I recommend that you invest in Inventory Lab or SellerBoard. Because why pay for both when these softwares have a lot in common, and by having two different subscriptions, that's eating into your overall profits. So if you don't know about Inventory Lab or SellerBoard yet, maybe you're having a little bit of decision fatigue, then hang out with me for a while because I'm going to walk you through the pros and cons of each software and tell you my unbiased opinion about which one I think you should invest in. So let's get this debate settled right now together. But first, if you're new, I'm Cassandra, and right here on my channel, I come every single week to try and teach you how to become your own profit guru, especially when it comes to starting and scaling an Amazon FBA business. So take a second to hit that subscribe button and like this video because it really helps me to keep pushing out videos to others and to keep creating free content for you all. All right, now let's get to it and settle the debate between SellerBoard and Inventory Lab. We'll come right here to SellerBoard.com and let's use the demo account so that I don't have to blur the screen all up of the products that I'm currently selling. And you as well can come right here and log into this same demo account. It's really handy because if you're not familiar with how to use SellerBoard and you're kind of hesitant to see if you can do it and how easy it is, then you can try it right out here before you start your subscription. The first thing that I'll compare are the dashboards in both Inventory Lab and SellerBoard. What I like about them both is that they're set up nice and clean and organized, and they're easy to use. However, the Inventory Lab dashboard is very basic and you can't see a lot. Your Inventory Lab dashboard will show you two things. The first one being a bar graph of your monthly total income and profit, but it's a super basic view. And beside that, you're going to have a pie chart of your monthly expenses. But again, this is just a broad breakdown and a broad view, not a granular view. However, the dashboard view at SellerBoard is just jam-packed. We have a ton of analytical data as well as profit and inventory insight. So one thing that's hard with selling on Amazon is really getting a true count of how much money you've made. There are a ton of fees, a ton of cost of goods, and to really see how much you're profiting, it can be hard to find that number, but not on this dashboard. So on any given day, you can go in and it'll show you exactly what's happening on that day. You'll see a breakdown of your total sales, how many orders compared to units that was purchased, if you've had any refunds, and then your daily numbers, your gross profit, your net profit, and your estimated payout. Plus, if you have ad costs, you can see on a day how much you're spending. I personally have not found any other software where you can just log in and quickly see all of that at a glance in one place. Now, really cool here is I can click the More button. Now, every little fine-tooth cost and fee and my profit right here. There's no guessing. You can see exactly what's happening. Where's the money going out and where's the money coming in? ACOS, refund percent, sellable returns, everything you need to know to manage your business, one click. And then you can compare the days, how you're doing today compared to yesterday, and the month to date. Now, I really love here the monthly forecast because it is very accurate. Based on our cost of goods and what exactly we're selling and our stock, it's going to tell us how many projected orders we should see in this month and our expected gross profit overall. So that makes it really nice when you're trying to set some goals for yourself. And then you can compare where you are now to where you were the previous month. And again, if we want to hit this More button, we can see our exact breakdowns. So when you're comparing the dashboard view in Inventory Lab to SellerBoard, it really is a no-brainer which one wins. SellerBoard is 1,000 times more detailed and can give you more accurate numbers and projections than Inventory Lab does. And what I also like about the dashboard is right here, we can see all of our products, how many units we have, how many refunds we've had, and we can see the images right here for our products. And then we can see breakdowns for each product so that we know which ones are selling well, which ones aren't selling well, and how many units we're selling. So for each product, you'll look across, you can see how many sales you've had, if you've spent anything on advertisement, your profits, margin, ROI, and your BSR. I really like that I can come in and check the BSR on my products to make sure that these products are staying fresh and staying relevant and products that people are actually buying. So if you hover over any of the BSRs, it's going to make a comparison and tell you how it's doing. If it's staying strong, if it's getting weaker, or if it's getting better. I like my view to look like this, but if you want to change the time frame, you can definitely do that right here by clicking the calendar. So you could change it to a weekly view, or you could even go in and do a custom range if you're trying to look at a specific period of time. And then also from the dashboard, what I really like about SellerBoard is I can go in and choose one specific product to look at. So let's say I want to check in and see how well this red cardboard box is doing. I can select it and see all of the numbers that I need to for just this one product alone. So we can see how many units we have left, what our sales have been. And this also helps me to know how much to order. So this is telling me that last month I sold 281 units. It's just really nice to be able to pull up and see my exact numbers for any given product so I know exactly what to do with that product. If it's something I should continue selling or not sell anymore, if it is performing well, how many should I be reordering to keep my stock good? So far the score is 1-0. When it comes to the dashboard of using SellerBoard or Inventory Lab, SellerBoard definitely takes it. It's not just a basic view and everything that we need to know, all those numbers and products we need to keep track of, right there on the dashboard for us to see quickly. Next, let's compare their inventory views. From the Inventory tab on Inventory Lab, go right down to Overview. And then this is what your view will look like. Again, pretty basic. We can see our FBA inventory, our merchant fulfilled inventory, and then if you have any unlisted inventory. You can scroll through, you see here the total sales value of your inventory, on-hand buy cost, and then your on-hand quantity. Next, it will also show you your top 5 performing products. And we could filter that out to see any of these instead. Maybe you want to see your top 10 suppliers by quantity, or your bottom 5 products by cost, or your top 5 products by sales value. And then the same right here for your merchant fulfilled products. But that's basically it. So from looking at the inventory overview on Inventory Lab, you can get an idea of what you have in stock, your resale value, what's performing well, but that's basically it. Again, a nice overview, but not very granular. Back over to SellerBoard, if you click on the inventory tab, you're going to notice that you have a few options pop up now. You can see your inventory planner, your purchase orders, your FBA shipments, and your suppliers. We'll start here at the planner. And again, a bonus for me, I'm a very visual person, so I like to be able to see a photo of the product. And in the planner, very quickly, I can see right at the top our COGS, our potential sales, and our potential profit. The numbers are so straightforward, it leaves nothing out, and it leaves us not wondering more like we do on Inventory Lab when we look at that view. We can see how many products we have ordered, the prep center stock, and what I really like is it's projecting for us how much stock we have left, so we know when we need to start reordering. So for this product, I'm seeing that I have 55 days left of stock, and then if I need to edit anything, I can go right over here to the actions, click those 3 buttons, I can create a purchase order if I needed to, and up in the edit is where I can start changing things. So if you wanted to change your target stock range, and this is telling how many days of selling the inventory that you're ordering should be sufficient for. So if you want to increase or decrease this range, you can. And then you can also set a buffer here that's really going to help you to not go out of stock. For manufacturing and logistics, we can input there how long it takes to get to our prep center if we're using one, and how long it typically takes to get to the FBA warehouses. And then on the forecast, we can see our velocity, our units sold, in which months we're performing well with this product, and then you'd also want to input your product dimensions. So as you can see, the inventory planner is going to help you to plan everything. You can see exactly what you have, how many units you have, what's your sell-through, when do I need to reorder, how many should I reorder. With SellerBoard, it's not a guessing game anymore. The data is right there and it's going to keep track of it for you. And then under the inventory purchase orders, you're going to add them every time you make a new order and it's going to track it. Great way to keep track of all of your orders, how many you have, the total cost you're spending, how many units you have coming, the estimated arrival of those units, and their exact status on any given day. And now if we come down to the FBA shipments, we can see exactly what's going on with our units and how well they're being received. This shipment here, I can see that it has 30% of the units received. And then if there's any deviations in what you sent and what they've checked in, you can notice it very easily. For example, I see a warning right here, and they're telling me that there is a difference in the number of units that we sent compared to the number of units that they have checked in. And because the status is closed, now we could look into that. And because we have all of our purchase orders right here, it should be very easy to win our case. And then the last thing under inventory is the suppliers. We're going to add all of our suppliers here. If we don't use one anymore, we can quickly take that out, but we have all of them in one place with all of their contacts. Very easy to keep track of everything. So obviously SellerBoard is going to link up with your Amazon seller account, and even the products that you've sold before you use SellerBoard, they're going to pull that in. So SKUs that I sold years ago that I have since deleted, when I started using SellerBoard, it pulled those in. It still had those in the database, which is pretty cool because if I have to go back ever and find a SKU, or maybe I want to look through products that I sold in the past to see how they're performing now, maybe something I want to reorder again, all of them will be pulled in when you link your Seller Central account with your SellerBoard account. So I think it's fair to say that when it comes to the inventory view, SellerBoard also gets the point here over Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is a nice, just kind of broad overview to see how much you have and what your projected numbers are, but it does not give you the numbers like SellerBoard does. It does not have the planning capabilities like SellerBoard does. So I think it's safe to say the score is now 2-0, with SellerBoard still in the lead. Now let's talk about the different reports you have access to with Inventory Lab and SellerBoard. So when you're ready to run some reports, especially at the end of year, tax time, when you need to see your numbers, in Inventory Lab, you're going to come right here to reports. Now, each separate report that you want to see, you have to pull individually here. So I could pull up my profit and losses. I could pull up my ASIN profitability, my SKU profitability. So before I use SellerBoard, I did like how I could access these reports here on Inventory Lab, because if you're just using your Seller Central dashboard, it can be really hard in there to find your reports and figure out the correct ones to pull. So I will say I was definitely a fan of Inventory Lab and how I could easily pull the reports better than on my Seller Central account. But the main report that I needed to give to my CPA at the end of year was my profit and losses. And on SellerBoard, I can see that right here. And I can make it for the last 12 months, so I have an entire year view of all of my sales compared to all of my COGS, compared to all of my fees, and so on and so on. So that I have a really clear picture here for my CPA of what my actual net profit is come the end of the year. The first year that I sold on Amazon tax time was a mess for me. I did not keep very good track of my cost of goods. And when you're uploading your inventory in Seller Central, your cost of goods are not counted into your numbers, which is very inconvenient at the end of the year when your tax people want to know, well, what are your cost of goods compared to all of these sales? It looks like you made a ton, but none of the actual money that you purchased those goods with is taken out. So this makes it very easy. Select the range that you want, print it off, and give it over to your tax people. We can also go right here to reports, and every report that you will need, you can download and print. Your dashboard by months, your orders, your sales by products and month. All of the reports that are going to be important to you as a business owner when you're making sure that your business is on the up and up and that you're being profitable. So does Inventory Lab have good access to reports? Yes, but you have to pull them individually and it does not look as clean. SellerBoard can bring up the report even faster. You can pull up different charts. Any bit of data that you want to see and exactly how you want to see it, you can pull it right up. So I think it's fair to say that the score is now 3 SellerBoard, 0 Inventory Lab. Now the fourth point is also going to go to SellerBoard, and that is because of their app. If you're into doing retail arbitrage, going into the stores with your phone, the app is a game changer. Sometimes I'm not the best prepared when it comes to going into stores to reorder. And when that happens, all I need to do is take out my phone, take out my SellerBoard app, and it's going to show me right there exactly what I need to get more stock of. So if you're an app person and you're going into the stores, then you're definitely going to appreciate the SellerBoard app. That in and of itself could be a video for you guys alone. But yes, they do have an app, and the view that you see from that app is just as amazing and just as detailed as you can see from your laptop.
The fifth point is going again to SellerBoard, and this one is based on cost. What I pay for my subscription to SellerBoard is literally 1/3 of the amount that I pay for my Inventory Lab subscription. For my SellerBoard Pro plan, I pay $23 a month, and Inventory Lab just keeps increasing their prices, currently being right now $69 a month. And I did really like Inventory Lab when Inventory Lab was my only option. But now that I do have SellerBoard, I can see so much more, and the cost is way less. And now the sixth and final point will go to Inventory Lab. And this point is based on the fact that with Inventory Lab, I can go in there and create my FBA shipments. And that was the real selling point that got me to use Inventory Lab in the first place. Trying to list and create your shipments in your Seller Central account, it's kind of confusing to do. And with Inventory Lab, you can create your batches so easily. So for the reason that they allow us to create our FBA shipments right there, and it is super easy, they do earn 1 point, making the overall score 5-1 in favor of SellerBoard. But here's the thing. SellerBoard has said that they are working on this capability. Right now, they are getting it so that on their platform, you can go right there into SellerBoard and create FBA shipments just like you can in Inventory Lab. So once they get that done and that is up and running, then they'll have all of the points. And I will literally have no reason at all to ever need Inventory Lab again. So I'm really excited for SellerBoard to get that feature done so that I can go in there, not only plan all my inventory, manage it all, see all the profit analytics, but then also create my FBA shipments in SellerBoard. It's going to be phenomenal. So the choice for me is very easy. What I recommend for you to get is definitely SellerBoard and not Inventory Lab. Cancel that Inventory Lab subscription if you already have one and start using SellerBoard. I want to thank SellerBoard for sponsoring this video, but I want to make it really clear that they do not in any way tell me what opinions to express. Everything that I've said and expressed in this video are my true and genuine opinions. With or without their sponsorships, I would be sharing their videos regardless, and I would still have the same opinions to share with you. I think it is a phenomenal software, and if you're not using it, you are definitely missing out. I'll also put a link down in the description. If you haven't tried SellerBoard yet, there is a link down there with a discount code for you. So give it a try, come back, and let me know exactly what you thought. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.